let's switch gears again and talk about nature. It appears in many of the chapters of your book. So clearly it's an experience that is important to us and important to you with a wide range of impacts. So walk us through, oops, that's a pun. Walk us through.
Okay, well,
What happens to our bodies and brains when we are outdoors in nature?
so we can answer this question in two different ways. We can expose people to nature and ask what happens, and we can deprive people of nature and ask what happens. And if you look at the way we've designed our towns and cities over the last 50 or 100 years, we've denuded them of nature. And I make it's not quite a joke, but I make the point in the book that you have leafy suburbs here. We have leafy suburbs in Dublin. Those are the places that people will pay a premium to live in. And there's a reason for that, because you have easy access to nature. And there's a reason why Central Park is a place that people go to. There's a reason why the Phoenix Park in Dublin is a place that people go to. We need regular exposure to nature. And if you, for example, take people who are suffering high levels of stress and you deliberately bring them into a nature setting where there's lots of green available to them on a regular basis, what you find is a marked fall in stress hormones. And it's a sustained fall if they keep the practice of exposing themselves to the complexity of nature. And there's lots of reasons why nature is good for you. One is that when you're in nature, we humans find it inherently fascinating. You hear the birds, you see bees floating around, you see the beautiful flowers, you have all sorts of things like that going on. But you can go further than that. The experience of being in nature is one vital way, and Mark and I have talked about this, of experiencing a sense of awe in your everyday life. And by awe, I don't mean like a kind of a cheap feeling. What I mean is a feeling where you stand when you're out in nature in perspective, or you impose a perspective on yourself with regard to where you are in the universe. You don't necessarily belittle yourself, but you feel like you're a small thing in a large world. And that's okay. It's not a negative feeling, it's a positive feeling. It allows you to decenter yourself and perhaps put what feel like very prominent feelings of distress or anxiety or annoyance over somebody not filling in a form at work or whatever it happens to be, that you get away from the feelings of annoyance of everyday life. And that experience is something that I think walking can give us, especially if you have a regular exposure to nature during walking. And this is something I think we've designed out of our towns and cities, but we can design back in very, very easily.